Hello, curious creatures. My name is David, and we are back to actually sewing something because I need something new. And you know why I need something new? Because I am part snowman. If you've talked to me in person and the subject of YouTube has come up, I have probably told you that I follow a handful of other creators that specialize in sewing. They enjoy it and have on a spectrum, and they each have their different areas of expertise. I don't know who has like certified expertise because all of these people are very good at what they do. One of these people happens to specialize in vaguely medieval, sometimes reconstruction, sometimes mashing together different styles. If you love to sew and you get really bored with some of the traditional documentary styles of learning about things, you may enjoy the channel of Morgan Donner. She, in a recent video, I think she does one a month-ish, so I think it was a few months ago, she did a Swedish-style jacket that was largely just draped in a certain way that I found really fascinating. And because I am a victim of clinical audacity, I'm going to be taking some concepts from that, as well as some Pinterest inspiration, and seeing if I don't completely ruin the rest of the black cotton that I have. I follow a lot of people who are women and present as women, not because I am super interested in making like dresses and skirts, but the concepts can be applied in similar ways, just cut in different ways and certain darts taken out where I am more comfortable in them. Because despite... Yes, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm not averse to the occasional kilt or drapey thing, but I prefer things that don't have bust darts. Also, they are very pleasant people, and I get bored very easily when things are too, clinical. So that got into my brain and connected right in the middle, where now I have an idea. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out the shirt that I'm going to be copying the fit of, this one actually, and walking through a little bit of the idea. Okay, maybe we do this thing out here. So yes, I don't know where my microphone is yet again, so I'm just gonna project. Okay, so making it at least this wide and long will ensure that I don't have the over-tailoring mishaps that I had in my late teens, where I ruined a perfectly good black vest through like, oh, I'm just gonna tailor it. No, now you can't wear things under it. So showing the inspiration images here, somewhere. Essentially copying the front here, maybe putting a line down here so that I can kind of hide where would normally be a little bit of a dart, and then side pieces, and then with the longer like coat inspiration, I do want seams down the back where I can specifically tailor it there so it does have a little bit of a shape, kind of angling inward like the Swedish jacket that I was talking about from the Morgan Donner video. The back is really what was really pressing buttons for me. But on the front, obviously on the other reference, it would be copied here, but then only tie, if I do the seam around here and not just copy the front, it would tie at around here with a small tie, and then maybe a button loop or small tie on the inside, since it's going to have enough ease where it's not going to be showing like the bulk of if I do a little tie on this side. There are a few things to do before actually breaking out the tablecloth cotton that I'm going to be using for this, but I'll see you in a sec. So I look like a crazy person, so I might as well act like a crazy person. I mentioned that I'm a half snowman, which is my favorite way of kind of getting the point across without going into a lot of detail, but hey, this is YouTube, I can say what I want generally. Most of the explanation starts with a few years ago, I was without a car for about a year, so I took the bus most of the time, and especially in the winter, and around here at least, you would step from, I don't know, 25 degrees into somebody thought it was a good idea to absolutely crank it up, which you felt the second you got onto the bus. And so I noticed that I started itching really, really badly, like concerning amounts. The second I stepped onto the bus, the second the heat changed. And that didn't get better. It actually started getting a lot worse, up to the point where I had to have someone come pick me up from the side of the street. I was literally standing in the shade of a tree to avoid the amount of hives that I was getting. I couldn't really move from the shade. I felt like a freaking vampire. Turns out there is a condition called cholinergic urticaria, and I'm going to spell it here for those nerds who care about that. It essentially means when there's too big a heat change, sometimes it's just heat, but normally it's just something like stepping into 80 degrees from lower 30s. My body thinks that it's being attacked somehow, so it reacts like like the wrong person ate a peanut. It can get that bad, but luckily, evidently, I have it generally managed. I keep forgetting to pick up the allergy medication for it, which is a little bit concerning on my part, but yeah, I'm per snowman. It's really good right now. I actually checked the temperature before we left for a little bit, and it's 61 degrees in rainy Pacific Northwest. And I generally feel good, but the longer we walk, which is why we're taking the short way back, the more my back is starting to itch. And it's not sweat either. Because honestly, do I look like a person who sweats on a regular basis? Wait. Come here. Oh. Just a little pro tip. Oh, don't pull. That is creeping nightshade. If you heard me over the cars. And now I'm itchy. Yeah. This obviously goes all the way to the top and then a little collar, but that's not the intention for this one. this is where some of the audacity comes in, because I am kind of eyeballing the curve here, shoulder and bottom here. And then this is going to be the same on the other side. As I've said in other videos, make symmetry work for you. I'm sorry for the people who are, nobody's symmetrical, but some people are less symmetrical than others. But generally speaking, make symmetry work for you. This is also kind of a, like, what I like to call experiment cost. Of like, oh, okay, how close can I get to the line without totally messing it up? And I have done things like this before where I just did not calculate. It's like the effing birds kind of thing. It's the risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math. That has happened before, but because I have sewn shirts several times, and I hope to several more in the future on this channel especially, having a reasonable assumption of skills, and also since I draw and not just sew, that's why I was kind of just eyeballing it. I'm crispy. Make it match. Make it match. In case it wasn't clear a little bit ago, this is just an art colored pencil. So it should wash out. If it doesn't, I take responsibility. Okay. So this will be the literal line. Ta-da. But we want a little bit of tailoring in the back, just a little bit. So we're gonna go. Just make sure I'm not cutting my shirt underneath because I didn't move it. Oh no.
For some reason, I don't know why, it's not my fault. And then big air tank, plasteel ingot. How do I make plasteel? I'm gonna have to get this. I've been getting busy living.
He enjoys music such as Coldplay and Kanye West.
Maria, are you with an outfit? Turn the light up if you are.
Create the perfect playlist with
I don't actually have my microphone. I still did not find it, so I apologize if I've had to change the sound on this somehow. It came out pretty much as I expected. The button that I found is not ideal. It's a little bit heavy for the drapiness of this, but it's what I have. It's the proper size that's not actually going to pop out, and it has a shank loop on the back. There we go. Green screen share will happen one day. My phone keeps telling me heat wave is coming, which I guess is a good reason that I finished this. And it's probably the fastest shirt, like, wearable thing that I've ever made, or at least in a very long time. So if this is your vibe, I really encourage you to, depending on how much money you have, go to the thrift store in the home goods section and just see what cool stuff is there. And for obvious reasons, I recommend natural fiber, just for plastic reasons. I found out recently that a really huge, very whelming part of the audience of this channel is apparently in the category of 13 to 17. So what I make on here isn't specifically geared towards a particular age range, as I say in my bio, or if I've changed it, as I've said in my bio. Making stuff and figuring stuff out and learning is not confined to a gender or an age range, but if you are one of those people who falls between like the 13 to 17, what I also try to promote is, yes, you could go out and buy a bunch of yards of fancy fabric at whatever store you have access to, or you could do something like, well, what do you have at home that is kind of sitting around and not being used? Or go to the thrift store, find a $5.99 cotton sheet, and there are a lot of things that you can do with it that don't look handmade in a bad way. I am working on a lot of different things, and this was intended to come out on a Friday, but I think I need to start saying I will be doing my best to put out a video every weekend, because that's the amount that I want to do, but my timing is not great because of all of the other things that I really need to do right now. But if you like this kind of video, your subscription definitely contributes to me having more time and energy, rather than spending so much of my energy on things that may help the, numbers, but don't really help my sanity. I would rather give my sanity to you people. So if there's something that comes to mind that you would love to learn along with me, I would love to hear it in comments below. This channel is currently small enough where I can see all of the comments, and I'm doing my best to kind of triangulate around them. This is for you, not just me showing off. So if you dig it, like, comment, subscribe, encourage me to be the weird guy talking to himself in the woods. My work will also be at Seattle Pride for both days if you're remotely in the area and that's your thing. There are always more videos planned. The timing may just be a little bit chaotic, but thank you for sticking with me. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your favorite shadow people, and do your part. Support the dark arts.